Rev up your engines!
Dallas Williams says, what do you think of Castrol Edge 20,000 mile guarantee? I don't think anything of any company's guarantees for that stuff, because they say, oh, use this new oil change every 20,000 miles. We guarantee it. What do they guarantee? You know, I've never seen anybody that used any of the products from any of the companies that said that ever got another engine if their engine blew up. They would say it's a pre-existing condition. Oh, well, we guarantee against excessive oil consumption, and we don't think yours is excessive. You try to get something done with one of those guarantees, you know, just like years ago that Teflon oil that they made in Houston, as Lubrelon company made it, and they gave all kinds of guarantees, but to my knowledge, they never put a free engine in anybody's car, so I think most of that stuff's a lot of baloney. Mr. Nacho 1955 says, what causes your back tires to wear out every 10,000 miles in my Nissan Altima 2011? The shocks are bad in the back, or the alignment's off? Now, if it's the shocks, they're going to wear cupped. If the tires are cupped on the edge, you know the shocks are bad and they need replacing. If it's the alignment, then go get it checked for any worn parts and get it aligned. People always talk about a front-end alignment. Well, with modern cars, you every once in a while need front and rear alignment because the rears are adjustable too. Now, when I was a young mechanic, cars were all rear-wheel drive. There was no adjustment on the back because they had a big differential, solid, made out of cast iron differential. The rear wheels weren't adjustable, but now they're independent suspension and they're adjustable, so you'd want to get those checked for an alignment too. But do see if the shocks are worn out, because that'll do it too, but then they'll have that cupped wear, like I said. Michael Hatless says, rust module, does it work? You know, I always wondered about that stuff myself. So I asked an engineer, and the engineer explained that it's a load of baloney on a car. They do have sacrificial anodes on ships in the ocean and salt water. And the engineer explained that those work because the ship is floating in the water. And he said, if your car was floating in the water, they would work. But it's driving on the land, and he said, they don't work at all then. It's got to be completely immersed for that kind of stuff to work. With you just driving down a road in salt water, if you drive by the ocean here, like if you live in Galveston, or if you live up north and they put salt on the road and you get salt water and salt splashed on, those rust modules don't work at all. Let's face it, if they did, they'd make them that way so the cars didn't rust. Isaac Marisco, what are your thoughts on a Cummins diesel? Okay, I'm not a Chrysler fan by any stretch of the imagination, but Cummins makes those diesel engines. They are excellent diesel engines. There's nothing wrong with the Cummins diesel engines. It's just that a lot of them are in Chryslers and the rest of the vehicle isn't so hot, but they can still last. They're solid built engines. There's nothing wrong with those diesel engines. You know, they're big engines. They're not fantastic on gas mileage, but they put out quite a bit of power. I got a customer that has one that's still running at 350,000 miles. It's the original engine. Caesar Bed, what's the best classic pickup truck for me to buy as a project and start wrenching with my son? Okay, I'd say you could get a 60s Ford pickup or a 70s Ford pickup. The 60s are all carbureted, and of course, you're better off with a carbureted one than a fuel engine, because then you can teach them stuff. And if the carburetor goes bad, you can throw it away. And you can put an Edelbrock on for like $300 that's going to run perfectly fine. You know, they're all going to fuel injection and all that stuff, and that's a pain in the butt. Things can break, cost a fortune, because even though it's an older car, it's still fuel injected. Parts are expensive. Get one that's carbureted. You can't beat the Fords. Parts are available for those things forever. Stephen Jodane says, is a right-hand drive Celica in the U.S. good? Well, I guess if you never pass people, it is. The reason they got the steering wheel on the left side for us in the United States is because we drive on the right side of the road, so when you're passing people, you can see into the other lane. You got a right-hand drive car and you're driving on the right, you can't see the other lane that well. I have driven right-hand drive cars where they drive on the left side of the road when I went to the British Virgin Islands, because it's crazy. It's an English island, but almost all the cars are right-hand drive because most of the cars come from Florida. It's a lot closer to Florida than it is to England. So everybody's driving these American cars there, but they're driving on the wrong side of the road. Believe me, it's not that easy to pass people. Now, there it wasn't too bad because most of the island had a speed limit of 20 miles an hour. So you're not going that fast. Unless you're a mailman who's delivering mail in the country, it's not that smart of an idea to have it on the opposite side, because it isn't that safe for driving when you're passing.
So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.